Welcome to Biz Today. I'm Nazareen Ebrahim. It's a very special episode of Biz Today for this edition. We're covering the Durban Chamber's 160th anniversary of being in existence. We recently attended their gala dinner held at the prestigious ICC, and there we got to interact and meet with many of the prestigious members from the institution that's now 160 years old. It was indeed a pleasure to speak with Gala. She is the CEO of the Durban Chamber of Commerce, including many other distinguished members of the council and also members of the larger business district. They spoke to us. We got to see the history of Durban unraveled itself throughout the course of the dinner, and then also many indeed important presentations, as well as by their chief sponsors, many of whom you'll see in the course of the program. It was a beautiful evening. It was lavish and monumental and indeed worthy of celebrating the heritage of business in Durban. So we're really excited to have been part of the event, and we'd love to take you now through our lens of what happened in the evening. Stay tuned and keep watching.
1856, the 856th year of the second millennium, the 56th year of the 19th century, and the 7th year in the decade that was the 1850s. Natal becomes a crown colony. Durban's first recorded flood causes catastrophic damage. The Umgeni River bursts its banks, and the water floods town and flows into the harbour. Women wear Victorian fashion. Reverend Posselt establishes a Lutheran mission station at Christiansburg, later to be known as Claremont. Francois Adams opens Durban's first bookstore. And the Durban Chamber of Commerce and Industry is born. 1860. The first steam railway in South Africa is opened in Durban. The green-painted engine is named Natal and is described by the Natal Mercury as a rather strange-looking but withal very neat little engine, which savours of Yankeedom and is new to most English eyes. The recruitment of indentured labourers in India begins. 1863. Durban's population now numbers approximately 5,000 residents, including 230 Indian immigrants. 1867. The Durban to Umgeni railway line was opened. 1871. John Langalibalele Dube is born in Inanda, and in 1903 he launches the newspaper called Ilanga Lase Natal, Son of Natal, later known as just Ilanga. 1877. The first harbour board was constituted. The Point to Umgeni railway line was opened. 1878. A hospital is commissioned at Back Beach with a matron and 6 nurses. It later became Addington Hospital. A drought prompts Councillor H.W. Curry to sink an artesian well in the area below the Botanic Gardens. Water is struck, and the well, named Curry's Fountain, delivers 50,000 gallons of water to the town every day. 1884. The Juma Masjid Mosque in Grey Street is expanded to accommodate 200 prayer mats. It had been built a few years earlier by Abu Bakr Ahmad Javeri, the first Indian trader in Durban. 1893. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi arrives in Durban. 1892. The Tongart Hewlett Group is founded. 1896. An electricity generating plant is built at the Point to provide electric power for lighting in the town. 1902. The first electric trams run in Durban. 1904. Durban's new floating dock comes online and lifts the 7,000-ton SS Kent out of the water for repairs. 1910. The new City Hall was inaugurated and the first airplane flight from Durban took off. On the 31st of May, Natal joined the Cape, Transvaal and Orange Free State to form the Union of South Africa. 1914. Durban becomes an important transit point for troops on their way to or from World War I. Many residents lose their lives in the conflict. 1925. Durban Transport introduces 3 Thornycroft single-decker petrol engine buses. 1930. After considerable excitement and much discussion in the press, Durban's first traffic signal is installed in the middle of the intersection of Pine Street and Field Street. 1935. The Borough of Durban is granted city status. 1939. With the outbreak of World War II, Durban becomes strategically very important because of its port and shipyards. Over 3 million troops passed through the town. 1958, Durban girl Penny Coolen becomes Miss World. 1960, the City Council changes a bylaw allowing bikinis to be worn for the first time on the city's beaches. 1963, Durban's population is approximately 653,000 citizens. The new oil refinery at Reunion costs 30 million rand to build. 1970, Welcome and Somi, collaborating with Elizabeth Snedden and Peter Scholz, produces Umabata, a Zulu version of Macbeth. The 70s also saw an intensification of worker and trade union struggle, culminating in the student uprising of 1976. Durban's economy is now fairly diversified, with major strengths in manufacturing, commerce, with tourism being the largest subsector, transport, community and social services, and increasingly finance. In the long post-war period, the chemical and automobile industries have grown to become crucial to industrial growth in the city. 1982, Durban celebrated the 150th anniversary of its naming. Petrol costs 47 cents a litre. 1990, the first time we hear the words climate change. 1997 saw the opening of the Durban International Convention Centre. Costing 280 million rand to build, this iconic 5-star, internationally recognised centre has contributed more than 20 billion rand to South Africa's GDP over the last 8 years. 2000, the third millennium is born and all our computer systems still work. 2007, the harbour entrance is widened and construction begins on Dubai Trade Port. 2010 sees the brand new King Shaka International Airport, the iconic Moses Mabhida Stadium and the World Cup. Catalytic projects are currently being planned and developed. Some are about to be born, like the Point Waterfront, Go Durban Transport Network and Cornubia. With a vision to be Africa's most livable city by 2030, Durban is geared for greatness. The Durban Chamber is the oldest and largest metropolitan chamber of commerce and industry in South Africa. We salute you, our partners, the people and the business that is Durban.
So we're at the Durban Chamber of Commerce, 160 years of celebration of their existence. It's a really beautiful night at the Durban International Convention Centre, and I've got a rather special person with me right now. Dubine Tlele is the CEO of the Durban Chamber of Commerce, and she looks absolutely stunning. Good evening.
Thank you so much. Good evening. Thank you for coming through to our occasion.
Wonderful. Who are you dressed by, firstly, because you look absolutely stunning?
I've got my designer here today. We've decided to showcase fashion designers from Durban. Her name is Roshni. You'll see her later.
So the Durban Chamber celebrates 160 years. What does this mean to you as a long-serving member?
Well, I've been an active member of the Chamber of Commerce for almost 15 years now. So I'm part of the history, as many of my colleagues are saying. But I think the best thing about being with the Chamber is watching it evolve and keep with the times.
I think from a Corabrik perspective, we obviously here, it's personally my first time to be at the event, so I'm looking forward to the evening. And I just think, it brings the whole good aspect to bring all big business together and actually showcase what they've got to offer.
160 years is not a small milestone. It is a milestone that we need to celebrate. We are so grateful to the people who have gone before us. We are honoring them today, but more than that, we're looking to the future. How are we going to make sure that the future brings for future generations what we desire, especially in terms of economic freedom? I think as the Chamber of Business, our foremost goal is to ensure that the economy of the region, but of also South Africa, grows and is able to create the jobs that our children will need.
A wonderful woman joining us now. She is a council member at the Durban Chamber of Commerce and also a member of the Women in Business Forum. I can't think of a better person to speak to. Tell us who you are and who you're wearing tonight.
My name is Susan Abreu, and I'm an attorney in town, and I've been around for quite a long time, and I'm wearing a gown by Trevor McClymont. He designed it for my 50th birthday party, in fact, last year.
I'm wearing Hilton Winer, and yeah.
We'll show you.
We are.
Not sure who we are, but we are.
Well, the Speaker of the House. That would be my wife.
The Durban Chamber has long been a networker for all sorts of businesses. It's one of Durban's really iconic movements. What does 160 years tonight mean for you?
We're very excited. It means more years of growth in eThekwini. Hopefully we'll grow together with the Chamber. We have the Commonwealth Games coming, hopefully the Olympics after that. Hopefully we'll be pulling together to ensure that Durban gets the best out of the two.
For us, we're very happy that we've got a structure like Devon Chamber, because as businesses, and particularly in the tourism industry, we do need a platform where we can be able to network, where we can be able to grow, which is the development programs that Devon Chamber provides, and generally be part of an environment where you talk to business and we are able to create our own opportunities as well, and get people who are going to come to Ushaga, partner with Ushaga, and probably develop, contribute also to the growth, the general growth of Ushaga.
No, that's incredible. I mean, it's made its mark in KZN, and everybody knows to be part of the chamber is really to open up doors in business, and it's fabulous for networking as well.
Oh, 160 years. What an achievement. It's the oldest chamber in the country, and we have matured from the bad old days, and it started in the really early days, and here we are today where we've changed to a company. So we've got corporate governance, we've got everything that we should have. We've transformed incredibly well, gender and every other demographic wise, and it's fantastic.
I've been attending this momentous occasion for like 2 or 3 years, and I have to say this year looks very sexy, very, very sexy. So I think we're sexifying the chamber, and it's exciting, it's diverse, we're getting a lot of youth involved, so it's kind of exciting. It's not that old school boring chamber, there's a lot happening which is exciting.
Well, for us, the business sector have always been partners in the work that we do in the City of Durban. The Chamber of Commerce in its 160 years has really galvanized business community. And the one good thing about Durban is that business and government talk to each other and they coordinate their efforts, and they have a very vibrant relationship. So from that point of view, I think it has helped the city to prosper and grow. For example, we will share the budget that we are preparing for the new year with the Chamber of Commerce and its members, so they have advance warning of what's in store for them. Likewise, they come to us with development proposals, the new 80-story building, the Point Waterfront, Virginia Airport. So it's a synergistic relationship between the Durban Chamber, its members, and we, the council, on the other hand.
160 years for me is transformation. And what the Durban Chamber has achieved in the last 20 years, they couldn't have done that before. But in the last 10 years, I think they've really, really outdone themselves. And I think you'll see by this evening and the spectacular event that they're going to pull, it makes business sense for them to be the voice of business. As AXA, we have been a strategic partner with them for the last 10 years, and we really enjoy every minute of it. And we're looking forward to another 10 to 15 years more.
Well, I think for me, being involved in the Chamber for the last kind of 7 years, becoming Vice President of the Chamber now, has been amazing to see this journey of transformation within the Chamber, but also development and upliftment. I think, as you say, being the oldest Chamber in the country is really a celebration. We celebrate business tonight, we celebrate entrepreneurship, and really the cogs of what makes a city work.
I think we need more events like this actually in Durban, because there's a lot of successful business people in Durban. So this is a wonderful event, and bringing the fashion fusion into it just gives it that wow factor.
Durban is growing at a rapid pace. We know that the Durban Chamber tonight are going to launch Durban Must Rise. How do you feel you could contribute to this campaign as a Durban citizen?
Well, I think it's been quite obvious that that the Durban area has been drawing a lot of business locally and international, and there's a lot of development going on. And I believe it's economically viable for businesses to invest in this region. And so I believe from our business perspective, we are looking at expanding in this area, and hence we will support any growth expansion that goes on here.
Like I say, I think it's quite important to get, and how often we get businesses together, and this is one of the environments that we can actually get business together and actually present what we've got, maybe network and get together with other big business.
I think it's pretty amazing, and I think, you know what, we sell ourselves short in Durban. Whenever a business from Durban calls out to either Cape Town or Joburg, you say, "Hi, I'm from Durban, but I've got this great idea," as opposed to saying, "Hi, I'm from Durban, and I've got this great idea." So I think Durban Must Rise is it's long overdue because we can compare with everybody else.
You know, I really believe that it is time that we start a movement that's going to really cause Durban, KZN, South Africa to rise. It is an inspirational message. We are hoping that people will take it to heart. We are hoping that people will live it daily and think every day, how are they going to contribute to the rise of Durban? We are also making sure that we counter all the hashtag everything must fall. And we are trying to say, okay, when everything has fallen, we better have a plan for what must rise.
Well said, I love that. Just one more question before we let you go. You look absolutely stunning, so I'm sure you're going to be the belle of the ball, as they say. I know that there's going to be a call for big business to mentor and support small business. Why is that so incredibly important right now?
The Durban Chamber represents big and small business. One of the foremost strategies that we are implementing is ensuring that we link big business and small business. It is important that small business is made ready to supply into big business in such a way that they don't compromise the competitiveness of big business internationally. So for the Chamber, having members that are the biggest, right down to the members that are the smallest, emerging business in the township, we're seeing it as a very opportune space where we can help big business meet small business in a way that is sustainable.
Excellent to hear. I know also that there's going to be a call tonight for big business to sponsor and mentor small businesses even further. How do you feel about that particular initiative?
The small business is very, very important for the country. If you look at the challenges we're facing today, it's all around unemployment and poverty. So the growth is going to come when small businesses are being given a lot more support to thrive. And we are a very big support of small business. We've developed solutions that enable SMEs to be able to compete with larger enterprises. So it's a very, very important development because we have to address the issue of unemployment. We have to address the issue of youth who needs to be given a break in their life in the form of employment. And it's only SMEs that can actually scale the volumes. And we are very keen to be part of that initiative.
The way I see it is small business is big business. And I believe that you have to start small. We started small, now we're on the world stage. So I believe that every business that's starting today has got exactly the same opportunity that we had when we started. So I would say to those businesses that they must persevere, stick to their knitting. That means focus in the niches that they have and build businesses that will be internationally recognized and put Durban on the map, as a lot of businesses in the listed environment where we operate are doing.
Excellent initiative. I agree with you 100% about SMEs being the driving force of the economy, because small business is really important, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very important. And that's why our big focus as Vodacom Business in particular is around providing them with solutions that automates their businesses, ensuring that they are not bogged down with the nitty-gritty of IT. We want to take away the difficulty, the complexity in IT. We make sure that they remain agile, they focus on market development. In that way, they can actually grow faster and be able to compete as if they were large businesses. We want to sit in the corner of the SME as a big brother with strong IT capability to underpin their businesses. That's what we want to do.
So we're joined now by one of the more important members. Everybody's important tonight, I suppose, at the Durban Chamber of Commerce 160 years Gala dinner. It's a wonderful evening, and we're joined by Sharon, who's the chairperson of the SME Forum, which is a critically important part of this evening because I'm also a small business, so I'd love to hear what Sharon's going to say. Good evening, Sharon.
Good evening.
It's wonderful to have you join us at Biz Today here at the Durban Chamber's Gala dinner. What are your expectations for this evening?
Well, just to have a lot of fun with all of the people that we work with in the industry, as well as the small enterprises that have come to join us this evening. There's been quite an outcry for people to sponsor the SMEs, to see what business is all about, and to also interact with larger corporate companies.
The Durban Chamber, I know, has been a central hub for many, many years in successfully bringing businesses together. The focus this time is also on engaging and mobilizing small business so that they can grow successfully. I'm sure you're putting a lot of work into that at the forum.
Yes, we are. We're focusing quite a lot on the engagement between SMEs and big corporates. So we've got a calling out there for big corporates to actually to come to us and have a look and see which SMEs they can engage with. We've got many programs of SME development as well at the Chamber that we facilitate. So yes, a very robust program.
Excellent. Wonderful to see you. You look absolutely amazing. Wish you all the very best and enjoy the evening. We'll catch up with you later.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed that special feature on the Durban Chamber of Commerce celebrating their 160 years in business as an institution. So we got a chance to speak with a lot of the members of the Executive Council on the Durban Chamber of Commerce. We spoke to Dumile there, the CEO, as well as Logi Naidu, Speaker on the eThekwini Municipality Council, and many other important business leaders from organizations like AXA, Vodacom, and many others. It was quite interesting to see the Durban business community come out and also celebrate the new initiative by the Durban Chamber of Commerce called Durban Must Rise. I think this goes far beyond even our borders of KZN, but to the entire country, because in the light of things happening right now in the country, in the economy, with everything must fall, as Dumile said, there's got to be something that rises from the uncertainty and the despair that goes on around us. So Durban Must Rise is indeed an important campaign and one we are proud to support. That was the first feature of our Durban Chamber of Commerce special feature. We've got a second episode coming up next week, which will show you more of the presentations that happened, also the presentations to award winners that happened, and a little bit of the entertainment and more interviews to come with special members from our Durban business community. We hope you enjoyed that feature, but stay tuned for the follow-up next week, and don't forget to follow us on BizToday_ZA on Twitter. Send us your questions and we'll be sure to address them in our next episode. Until then, goodbye.